Very fresh. Uh, oh, it is live. Listen, it's all very silly. Ex let's clap then, and let's do this thing. Ready? 1, 2, 3. What the? 4:56 for those playing at home. All right. You know what I'm gonna do? Since there's just 2 of us, I can just make your video all big, and I don't have to worry about having to pay attention to 2 people. Gosh, this is great. Okay. All right. Make sure this is set appropriately. That'll do. That'll do. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome. No, I'm a little too loud. Hang on. Let me adjust. Yeah, well, I'm looking at the waveform and it's freaking popping off, bro. Like, or what do you want me to do? What do you want me to say? Well, and the waveform's popping off the top of the chart, bro. Like, right? Isn't that a bad thing? Okay. Well, this should come across fine now. I'm set. I should be set. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Game by Show podcast. It's October the 18th, 2022. It's been a couple weeks, but there's 2 of us that have braved the storm. We've weathered the politics. We've endured the Blizzard news. And, well, Jeremy, Lawman Lamont is here. I am Legrand Jolly. It's pretty. It's a pretty good one, man. It's pretty good. I'll give you that. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, should I be looking at the video and doing whatever you're doing? It's it's true. We're not sideways, side by side. Who do I blame? Who do I blame? Jared, you should be here running this business. That's fine. uh, I think both of us are. I think both of us are sick. Are we sick? Are you sick? I'm coming up. I'm coming down with something. I think. Yeah, this is like a new beginning for me. Thanks, bud. I caught your virus through and I felt great last night, and now here we are. Just kidding. I'll be fine. I'll be fine, but I've definitely got something going. I don't know. It's tis the season, I suppose, right? Everything is coming up, Sauron. Yeah. I don't know. I've only watched one episode of that and nothing of. No, no. I was, and I've watched one episode. Here's the thing: my wife has been watching this series that's on Netflix, and she'll find a series that has like a dozen seasons, and then she'll just start watching it, and she'll binge it, and it'll take forever because there's a million episodes. And she's watching some show called Dynasty. Anyway, possibly, probably not. I know it's definitely not. It's definitely not 1990s. No, it's definitely not that. Maybe it's related. I don't know. But anyway, she's been watching that. It's not old. This is a newer show. I have no idea, dude. Listen, I don't know. And it's she has been watching that, and I don't really care for it, and I'm like, "We have a show to watch together?" So I'm like, I might just need to start watching. I'm probably just gonna watch Lord of the Rings by myself, and then I might just end up watching the Game of Thrones or the Dance with Dragons or whatever it's called. I'm just gonna watch it by myself. She's upstairs watching it right now. This whatever this show is, this Dynasty, whatever. Uh, it's fine. What is this? Dynasty Netflix? Netflix? Oh shoot, that's right. It's fine. I don't care. Here's the thing: is like Charles Martinet is fine, but nobody wants 2 hours of woohoo. You don't want 2 hours of Charles Martinet. Nobody wants that. And I don't know what people were expecting. People just want to complain because they want to complain. And quite honestly, there's been two lines of dialogue, and we haven't really seen Mario do anything with. Yeah, yeah. It's anyway. I agree with that. It's because it sounds like you would expect Bowser to sound. Bowser has Bowser has a voice, right? And that's what you would expect Bowser to sound like. Even in the games, doesn't Bowser talk in some of the games? Yeah, and that's what Jack Black sounds like. And so Mario in games is Charles Martinet, and you don't want 2 hours of Charles Martinet. I'm sorry. That's just reality. Now, does that mean that I want Chris Pratt? Chris Pratt, right? Chris? Does that mean I want Chris Pratt to I don't want Chris Pratt to replace Charles Martinet for the video games unless a video game was a Mario game with tons of dialogue that Mario speaks. But Mario does not speak. He doesn't talk. He doesn't talk in games. He woohoos and he yippies. Yeah, and he blobbity blobs in the Paper Mario games or whatever, right? And anyway, so people just need to just chill, man. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's what you expected. It's just that Mario doesn't have a voice. Toad has a voice. He has a voice in the series. He has a voice in the games. And sure, fine. I mean, yeah, but I mean that was more of a we don't have a whole lot of Mario to go off of. Like when that series came out, there was one Mario game. Like you know, there wasn't a lot of Mario Legacy to build off of, and and it's fine. It's fine. And but nobody's like, oh yeah, he's a Brooklyn plumber, an Italian plumber living in Brooklyn, and he's a plumber. Like, since when has that ever been a key point of Mario's like game and his personality in a video game since Mario Bros? Hmm. Maybe his name's not even Mario. Yeah, maybe it's Super Mario Bros. You know, Luigi is in the game in the movie, right? Like that's a thing. That sounds pretty good. I'd be down for that. But it's Chris Pratt. He's dressed up like Lou Albano. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it'll be great. It'll be great. Yeah, the movie's gonna be great. The movie's gonna be the movie. It'll be fine, regardless of what you think about the voice of Mario. If you're even talking about Chris Pratt and you're mad about Chris Pratt being Mario, you're gonna go buy a ticket and see the movie. You're already gonna do it. Yeah, I'll go out when it's convenient to me. Mm. 'Cause that's because you're a counterculture gamer. Yeah, that's the Jeremy way. My way is at this point, I don't really care. Like when it's convenient to me to go to see it, like I want to go see it. I'll go see it. I want to see it in the theater, yes. And there's a theater a mile away from my house now. Like they just opened it like 6 months ago. And I will go down there and I will buy a ticket and I will recline in their all recliner seats. I'll turn on the heater and I'll fall asleep and I'll eat popcorn. And opening first week, I would say that maybe not first weekend, but within 7 days of release of that movie, I would probably go see it. Might it be a Tuesday? Yeah, it might be a Tuesday, but I don't think I'm going to be there Friday night or Thursday night or whatever they do this. Oh, dude, I might. Maybe I'll just ditch out like work one day and at lunch I'll just go watch it by myself with like nobody in the theater in the middle of school. Be perfect, dude. You're gonna slay with that for real, for real. Okay, we know what we got to do. Reminder for when the other nerds get back onto this show that we need to do a Rotten Tomatoes challenge now that we've actually seen something. Because I don't know if we've done that. We did. We did it. I want to see if we want to update our scores. Jeremy 85, Dale 82, Jared 81. I was the low ball at 74. You think so? Okay. You think it's going to hit that nostalgia bone hard enough that I bet it beats Mario's got more. Oh, you mean Rotten Tomatoes? I think popularity. I think he'll do better in the box office than Sonic for sure. But critical reception, I think people, I think people expected Sonic to suck, and when it didn't, they gave it a good score. And I think that people will go into this expecting it to be pretty good, and when it meets their expectations, they'll give it a pretty good score. I think that's about what's going to happen. But anyway, yeah, I'm glad we talked about this, and I think that I still stand by that 74. I think that's probably about right. There's gonna be dissenter Jeremy nerd critics out there that are like 90s. Okay. What else had they done? I did go see the Gru movie, the latest Minions movie with my daughter. It was fine. Yeah, it was. I don't really care for Minions, but it was quality animation and production. I think the character of Gru sucks. Yeah, I think the Minions are fine. I just don't look. I don't care for Gru. But Gru was in the Minions. That was the movie was about Gru as a kid, right? The latest Minions movie. Here's the question: who is making those? Who is making those? Because Grandma ain't making those Minion memes. It's the Illumination Studios Illuminati that's making these. Yeah, I think. Yeah. Anyway, it's fine. Mario's gonna be fine, and I'm not worried about it. Yeah. Well, with that intro, thanks for enduring that, my friends. We should talk about some video games that we have been playing, I suppose. I've got one that I want to talk about. I've been playing nothing but Overwatch 2 since it released. How do you like them apples? Well, that's the thing is like so I know that, and the thing is like I haven't played Overwatch 1 in 5 years or whatever it's been. Like years. It's been years. There was legit I counted them up 8, 9 characters that I'd never even seen before. Including 3 brand new ones apparently that were brand new to Overwatch 2 that I had no idea were just Overwatch 2 characters. Like um so I have this weird relationship where I went into this game and I'm like, yeah, this feels like Overwatch. And I had no idea the actual new stuff that they added to the game or the things that they had changed or whatever. And I only realized that they had actually tweaked and changed and added new maps and added these new heroes like when I started reading, Twitter and reading, seeing reviews and watching like videos of what people thought about it and stuff like that. And so I was just trying to live in that echo chamber a little bit, and as it turns out, there were not. I thought there was only one because there's one champion that you have to unlock through the battle pass system. And this hero, I thought that was the new hero for Overwatch 2, but no, there's 3 new heroes, and I only thought it was this one. Um, yeah, Kiriko. Kiriko, it's a girl. Which, by the way, there's an animated short that's like 8 minutes long that she's in that you need to watch. You need to watch it. It's really good. Yeah. There's a tank character, there's a damage character, Junker Queen, yeah. There's a damage character which is Sojourn, and then there's this Kiriko healer girl. Is it Sojourn? Now you got me confused. Sojourn is like a Soldier 76 with a couple different abilities. He has a rail gun that you power up by using your regular machine gun. Then you can pop your right mouse click to pop a rail shot. Um, but she has like a dash super jump she can do. So she's like a modified Soldier 76. So there's basically 2 Soldier 76 type characters now, which is fine. But what kind of so anyway, so back to my original point, like going into this game, if you would have told me that this is Overwatch, like so when everyone's like, hey, this isn't Overwatch 2, this is just Overwatch 1.5, or this is just a big patch for Overwatch, like that really hit hard for me because to me, like it plays and all the modes and the maps and everything else is exactly as I remember it. Aside from all these characters that I've been missing because I haven't played for 5 years anyways. So like Sigma is this tank character that I've been playing a lot of actually, but I had no idea who that was until this game came out. But apparently that character's been in Overwatch for at least some time. I just didn't realize that. And so what I found myself, and there's also there's a new game mode. It's a bunch of stuff. They I guess they changed it so that there's like a role queue where you select a role. I don't know if that's new or not. Like I can't remember. I just can't remember like the old versus the now. Like I just don't know what's new. All I know is that loot boxes are no longer there. Okay. Hot damn. There's 5. Used to be 6. Yeah. One thing I guess that they did is, and this is all like stuff that I have learned by listening to other people dissect the differences and dissect what they've added and complained about things. And talk things up, etc. But I guess they made it so that shields are not as big of a deal. Stuns are not as big of a deal. Like they've removed stuns. For example, that McCree cowboy guy that's no longer called McCree, he's called something else. Um, Cassidy. So he doesn't. You remember he had that stun grenade that you would stun somebody and then you would like shoot him really quick. He no longer has that stun. Like, and so they've removed and kind of tweaked characters that kind of remove that meta of stun heavy shields. So like a lot of the characters that used to have shields no longer have shields. Doomfist, who was a damage dealer, is now a tank class. So they've kind of tweaked some of the characters a little bit. I have found myself being highly successful playing as support, like healer classes. I've gravitated strongly towards the new healer, Kiriko, if I need a lot of extra heals because she's pretty powerful. Or I've been playing as Moira, who I think was the last character that was available when I played like maybe 2 rounds 4 or 5 years ago. And I've been playing a lot of her, and she's kind of like she has to heal to 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 build up damage power, and then if she burns all of her heals, you have to do damage in order to get more heal power back. And it's kind of like this yin yang type of thing. And I've been killing and just murdering dudes with her. And then so I've been playing a lot of healer, and I've been playing a lot of tank. Probably sitting around, I would say 60 to 70% win rate when I'm playing a tank and or a healer. Now, you put me in as a damage character, and that's when you kind of that's when you have to like that's when my 42-year-old like gaming skill starts to break down, and I'm like, okay, I can't snipe with Widowmaker anymore. I can't track as well with Soldier 76 or hit sniper shots with McCree or whatever. So I've got to play a tank that just kind of builds a shield and just kind of does stuff. Yep. Yep. It's more about positioning than it was about skill. Yeah. For me, it depends. It's kind of like I noticed that if our team is getting our asses kicked and nobody adjusts, we just continue to get our asses kicked. I do notice that, and I've also noticed that I have learned. I mean, I've played quite a bit of Overwatch too. Like I am halfway done with the battle pass. Let's just say that I haven't bought anything extra. I'm halfway done with the battle pass. I've been doing my daily challenges. I've been doing my week. It's been out for 2 weeks. The third week of weekly challenges just came out today. I've been playing it every day, having a blast. So I played quite a bit, and I'm kind of I played it more. I believe I played it more consistently than I played the original Overwatch. To the point where I have like certain types of healers or tanks that I want to take depending on the map, first of all, and depending on what everyone else has, right? So if I have a really powerful healer, then maybe I can take someone who does a little bit more damage, and I don't have to worry about shielding myself or mitigating damage or whatever. So it just kind of depends on that, and I've kind of found myself adapting better and being smarter about it that way. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people have been you know talking bad on Overwatch too, and Overwatch in general, and quite honestly, like I really feel like calling it Overwatch 2 is kind of dumb. They should have said, "Hey, Overwatch 2 is going free to play. We're releasing a major update. It's called this, and it's going to be the future of Overwatch is going to be free to play, and we're bringing single player stuff to it." And that stuff is still coming next year. So they're going to be releasing like challenges and more story bits and some stuff like that. But and I think that's what a lot of people were looking forward to as the quote unquote two on the box was because the multiplayer is effectively the same, like the competitive multiplayer. Well, I mean it's been tweaked, right? But like any multiplayer game is tweaked over time. Even Right. I mean, the meta has changed, but for me, who's coming back to it after years, like it feels the same. Like it feels like I'm just getting back into the game I already knew how to play, or I've already played before. Yeah, it's interesting, right? It's like, I mean, Cyberpunk got a resurgence. Everyone hated Cyberpunk, and everyone hated Overwatch for a while. Like, Overwatch was not in the favor of gamers. Like, the Overwatch League was stagnating. Like, they didn't have streamers on Twitch playing Overwatch. Like, aside from you and your daughter, nobody gave a shit about Overwatch. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Nobody really cared, and that's fine. Oh, dude, really? Cool. Moira's awesome. She's so much fun to play. Yeah. Did she buy the battle pass? Did she bought the battle pass? You're not doing that. Well, I mean, it is a bunch of stuff that you don't need. Um, yeah, it's like well, yeah, the store is egregious. Like $20 skins is the only thing that's available. There's not You can't buy anything on the store for less than $20. Let's just say that. So it's pretty dumb. Like I think the store is just greedy, whatever. But to be fair, it's a first person game that you can't see your character anyways. So who cares if you don't have a skin, right? I've been happy. I bought the battle pass just because I was having fun and getting a little dopamine hits as I leveled those up and unlocked challenges, and also like, oh, I ranked up my battle pass. Like, you know what? I will get these little unlocks faster, and it'll bring my enjoyment up. I spent my WoW Gold money on it, so I didn't spend any real hard dollars on it. Like, this is like WoW Gold cashed out when I quit WoW last time, and and you get a bonus to XP when you have the battle pass, and I have a feeling that I'm going to finish it, which is the first time I've ever finished any of these battle passes. And I think I'm going to get to the end of it, and I'm just having a good time. The big payoff is a big Genji skin. Um, Neither do I. Halfway through the battle pass, if you don't buy it, is when you unlock that new healer. So your daughter will probably like that healer. She's pretty fun. Um, Moira's too good though. Like, if Moira is available, like, I'll always start with Moira because I've topped damage, kills, and heals in the same round before as Moira. She can be really powerful if you don't get countered hard against. But anyway, Overwatch 2 has been fun. So I'll be playing that for a while. Yeah, dude, it's good. I mean, it's Overwatch was never bad. It's just now back in the zeitgeist again, and here we are talking about it. Like, I think it's the same thing as like Cyberpunk. This new Cyberpunk thing came out, anime came out, and everyone's playing Cyberpunk all of a sudden, and discovering like, wow, Cyberpunk's actually fun. Hey, Overwatch is fun, guys. Remember how that game we shit on for 5 years? Like, it's actually pretty good. Um, so anyway, it's been cool. I've been enjoying it. Metroid. Listen, I liked Axiom Verge 1 a lot. Axiom Verge 2 did not do it for me. It does not feel the same. It does not play the same. It's just not as good. I'm kind of watching some video. Is it like a puzzle game of how is the traversal kind of a puzzly? Huh. I would imagine you'd get frustrated. I mean, it's a new. It's like the first time you played Mario 64 and you had to like figure out how to navigate in 3D, right? Mm. Just because of the traversal's weird. That's what I was gonna ask you. Like, you said you got it because you have the soundtrack, yeah? I have it on Epic, so apparently it was free on there at some point. The video says use a gamepad is recommended. Oh, it says on Steam, Microsoft Xbox controller or Windows is strongly recommended. Yeah. Cool. Well, speaking of PlayStation Plus, I think I'm gonna let mine lapse, dude. I'm not using it. I'm not using it really. I use Game Pass all the time. I use Game Pass. I was actually playing Fallout 4 on my phone via XCloud the other day, sitting in bed with my little controller thing. Um, anyway, oh, the streaming app. Uh, I don't know. PlayStation Plus streaming app. That's what I did. It cost me 150 bucks for 3 years. I think that's worth it. Yeah, I found myself brow. That's actually it's interesting because I found myself actually browsing the Game Pass PC app, and then like, oh, look at all these new games that are on here. There's this game and this game and this game, and I'm like, I have an Xbox over here. I should just install those on the Xbox. So I actually then went over to my Xbox, turned it on, installed those games, then uninstalled them. Like I pre-installed Persona 5 Royal on the PC because it comes out in 2 days. But I'm like, why am I going to play this on my computer? I'm going to play this on the Xbox. Like, so I'm like, okay. So actually uninstalled after downloading whatever 40 gigs, uninstalled it, went over to my Xbox and installed it there. Like, yeah. Anyway, I'm probably gonna let the PlayStation one last. I think there's only one real game that I want to play on there right now, which is the Ghost of Tsushima. If they had like the day one stuff like God of War, Horizon Forbidden West, if they had those games on there, I would probably keep it just because it's 100 bucks a year. Like I would do that, and I would get my money's worth out of it. Um, but as it stands right now, with those games not available, I'm going to buy God of War, which is what Sony wants me to do. So I'll end up just doing that. That's like that might be the only PlayStation 5 game I don't know, man. Like it's just kind of weird, but Yeah. Oh, I'm sure they do. They want you in that ecosystem for sure. Yeah. Well, we've got some new releases here. This is your courtesy of tech-gaming.com. First on the list is Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed. I came across this on the Epic Game Store, I believe. It actually looked kind of neat. I think it's got oh yeah, it's like one of those like what do they call them? Yeah, that style of thing where you yeah, Ghost is Ghost. So I think it seems like it could be pretty cool. It's one of those games that probably should be on Game Pass. That way you get a lot of people playing it. Otherwise, multiplayer. If it's a multiplayer focused game built around Ghostbusters, like no one's gonna, people will get it. It'll die in 2 weeks and nobody will play it again. You know what I mean? Yeah. Uh, if this was on Game Pass, I would totally check it out immediately, but I don't think it is. Let's see. Also, A Plague Tale Requiem. I played the other one. This is on Game Pass. I played A Plague Tale Innocence this year, or was it last year? I played it recently. This is the sequel to that. It's out on Game Pass. The first game was awesome, and the reviews for this game also look good. Yeah, so this is another one of those that I actually installed on the Xbox. So I'll play it on there. Dying Light 2 has some DLC called Bloody Ties. Dying Light 2 is the game that I love the first game, and for whatever reason, I just didn't want to play this one. It's kind of like Far Cry. I love Far Cry 3, but never played Far Cry 4 or 5 or 6. And and I think I just didn't want that. Didn't want it. Didn't want to play it. So I didn't. Yeah, I think that's a lot of it. And I really like the first Dying Light quite a bit. I played a lot of it. Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection's out on PC. Also, Triangle Strategy. This is the strategy game with the same logo as Octopath Traveler, which is also on Game Pass, by the way. Yeah. That was a Switch game, right? Switch game, and now it's on PC. Like, oh, yeah, it is kind of weird. We have a couple new leaked new Destiny guns that have come to our inboxes. You can send us other game studios if you want to send us your pro tips to gamebiteshow@gmail.com. Feel free. Pill Baby is a new gun coming to Destiny 2. That's coming with the next patch. Yeah, definitely. And also another gun called the Broken Universe. This is a legendary tier weapon that you can only use during certain boss battles. Yeah, it's part of the raid. Oh yeah, for sure. They did that in World of Warcraft, Burning Crusade. There was a boss fight against Kael'thas where you no Kael'thas. Yes, Kael'thas, where you actually got these super powerful legendary weapons, but you could only use them during that boss fight. But they were like amazing. That was pretty cool. Made you feel pretty cool. There's a bunch of stuff coming to Game Pass, a bunch of stuff leaving Game Pass. We got here the Amnesia Collection. I've actually installed Amnesia, the first one, Dark Descent, and I kind of want to play it this October. No, it was just kind of low budget and old at this point. I don't know. So there's Amnesia, Dark Descent, there's Amnesia Machine for Pigs, then there's Amnesia Rebirth, which is another one. So Amnesia Rebirth, I believe, is done by the same developers that did Amnesia Dark Descent. Amnesia Machine for Pigs, I believe, was a different developer. Anyway, point being, the Amnesia, all of those games are coming to Game Pass on the 20th on PC and console. A game called Phantom Abyss. Yeah, Scorn just came out on the Game Pass, which is a weird game. I watched the review for it, and I'm interested. I was more interested before I watched the review. The review was a good review. Like they gave it a good review. I just watching it and seeing the gameplay, I was kind of like, maybe. That's right. Soma. That's the another horror game that's coming to Game Pass on the 20th. Persona 5 Royal, as mentioned, that's coming out 21st. Gunfire Reborn. No, I did. No, I did. I did on purpose. Gunfire Reborn, I hear, is really good shooting game, which I want to try out. And I was interested in it, and then I saw it was coming to Game Pass, and so I was interested in playing on Game Pass, and here we are. Signalis is another game which I have no idea about, but those are all your stuff that are coming to Game Pass. A bunch of stuff leaving. Alan Wake, Backbone. Yeah, Alan Wake, American Nightmare. Sorry, that's what's listed here, at least on this Polygon article. Yeah, I actually played through that. It was fine. Backbone. Let's see. There's a Sniper Elite 4, Bassmaster Fishing 2022. Get your fish on. They're leaving at the end of the month, so there's a bunch of games that are leaving. So make sure you check up on that. I bet they're better than they were when you last played a Bassmaster game. I bet you'd have a lot of fun. I bet those games are better than you think. Like, I have a buddy who I used to play a lot of StarCraft 2 with, and he was really good at it. And we used to play a lot of competitive StarCraft 2. And at some point, we used to chat all the time, and then he ended up moving away and got a new job, and he wasn't couldn't be online all the time. And anyway, we're still friends on Steam, and he is constantly playing that Hunter Call of the Wild game where you're hunting deer and whatever. And I did not peg him like him and I used to play hardcore StarCraft 2, like, and now he spends all of his time playing, or at least his kids are. It's probably him though. I don't know who else would be. Um, that was my son. That his computer was locked, and he broke into my office and was on my computer. Uh, no, should I remember this? Hotel Lake. What game? Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. What the nostalgia is these screenshots? I do remember this. Inside Out. Dude, I remember this. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Where can I play this? Play Odell Lake. There's gotta be a place you can. Number Munchers was available. I was playing Number Munchers. Oh my gosh, here it is. Classicreload.com/Apple II. I'm launching a MAME emulator. I'm playing Odell Lake right now. Nobody knows. Every time I like fire up like a game on Game Pass, it's like, "Yo, you got a quest complete." I'm like, "Oh man, feeling good." You got to mash on that Xbox button, but I yeah. What? Why? Why is there a waiting list? Why is this locked down? Like in 2 months, nobody's gonna care. If I have to think about it, I don't wanna I don't wanna engage with it. But if it's just I mean, if I just have it and it's kinda like I go to the gas station and I buy a drink from the gas station. They're like, "Hey, do you have a membership number?" I'm like, "Yeah, hell yeah, I do." I punch in my phone number or whatever. And then every once in a while, they're like, "Hey," every while it's like, "Hey, I'm getting this drink," and they're like, "Hey, you got $1.27 in credit. You wanna use your credit on the?" I'm like, yes, sir, I do want to use that credit. Thank you for asking. Nah, they're not going to be valuable enough to. No, it's not gonna be. They would never make it, and it's Sony especially. The ones that make their lukewarm PlayStation Plus offering compared to Game Pass. But it does cost less than Game Pass. Let's just be fair, especially if you buy it annually. So anyway, yeah, I don't. If you ask me right now, I have an Xbox Series X and I have a PlayStation 5 plugged in on that TV behind me. If a game came out on both of those platforms at once, I do not know which one I would prefer to pick it up on at this point. It's probably going to be Sony. So then I feel like I'm validating that purchase since I'm not using it very as much. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. I don't even know what mine is. I think my son changed it though when he was big on it. That stuff is so dumb. Remember you could buy those? I think you probably still can, right? Oh yeah. It's got the juice, bud. I do not remember that. Sounds pretty good though. Probably around. A few dozen employees, that's it? Nobody watches TV. People have cable subscriptions or have them for sports, or they're old and they don't watch video game content. Well, that's the thing is like those content creators can make that money on Twitch in a day. Like hardcore dudes can spend a day making a YouTube video and make $30,000. It is weird. It is weird. And so I can understand. I mean that's just the reality of entertainment these days is it's moving away from cable. Like, and it's been that way for a while. And it's almost you know, like Blockbuster getting rid of their video game debate. Oh, Redbox did it, right? Redbox got rid of their video game stuff, right? And I know there's Redboxes still around. Last time I rented a Redbox was so we could have a DVD in the car when we drove to California or something. Like it was like I got to the point where the convenience of renting a movie on the Apple TV for an extra $3 over the cost of Redbox was worth not me having to drive to the freaking gas station to get the Redbox. So anyway, it's all about convenience and it's all about where eyeballs are, and nobody is watching cable TV unless you're into sports. So oh, shoot, let me check in on them. I don't know. They already increased their prices a lot. It's like $20 a month now for Netflix. It is definitely not worth it. I mean, my wife is watching Netflix right now. It's probably worth it to her. It's not worth it to me. But if they did add some game streaming, would I use it? No. Also, no. Like, no. Like, oh, Stranger Things video game. Yeah, no, I'm good, man. I'm good. Like, I don't need that in my life. I mean, it's the like Amazon Luna. Amazon Luna, same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. There needs to be a it needs to be like Game Pass. It needs to be like, I mean, their streaming service is good, or GeForce Now, for example. Like it's I don't know, and maybe the future, and maybe they're not looking for the same with like this Netflix gaming stuff. Maybe they're not looking for nerds like us. They're looking for casual people, right? Maybe. Like, oh, how come my redneck internet doesn't work out here? And then like, yeah. I I'm not interested, but I'm all about competition. So how about that? So maybe they do come out with a badass service, and it works really well, and they've got a good business model behind. I think that they need to learn from Stadia. I think that every new, because there's going to be more that come on board. Like even back when this technology was brand new, there was Gaikai, there was OnLive, there was all these other services that were starting to come out, and they were competing. And ultimately, I guess Gaikai went to Sony, and OnLive or OnLive went to Sony, or vice versa. Anyway, one of them went away and Sony bought the other one, and that turned into their PlayStation whatever, which is now part of PlayStation Plus. So it's they need to learn how to compete, and they need to learn from Stadia and what Stadia did, and not do that. And I think that because Netflix, their business model is built around subscriptions, it's not going to be like Stadia, or they couldn't. It would not make sense, and we all know that. Commander Shepard herself. Well, Jason Schreier wrote an article for Bloomberg, so it's him. It's him digging it up and writing for Bloomberg. Yep, correct. It says in the Bloomberg article that there were, according to Jason Schreier, that they were looking for up to 5 sessions that were going to be $4,000 each. So 5 times 4 would be $20,000. Three to $4,000 each for 5 4-hour sessions, which means she's making close to $1,000 an hour. First of all, doing this stuff. So I don't know. It's almost. I think the real question is how much does Bayonetta, and this is the same with any voice acted anything, like Chris Pratt being Mario, right? Like what is that? What are they paying Chris Pratt to be Mario? And would the movie be any different? Will this game be any weaker because the original Bayonetta voice actress is not being Bayonetta? You know what I mean? And so Platinum had to make that decision and say, you know what, it doesn't matter. We don't want to pay more than $20,000 for this voice work, and we feel like we're paying this person enough. It's what we want to pay, and she doesn't want it. Fine. I don't think Bayonetta relies on that. That's what Platinum Games decided to do. And quite honestly, if you ask me, if you put like, if I listen to Bayonetta 3 Jennifer Hale version, I say, yep, that's Bayonetta. No idea, right? Like, who is that hard into Bayonetta? They know that voice inside and out. Like nobody, right? Um, Charles Martinet, however, if you replace him with a different Mario, yeah. Nolan North, Troy Baker, Jennifer Hale, even Jennifer Hale. You mean she's not doing cartwheels and kicking her feet out and doing? Well, she was looking for six figures, and she was looking for residuals on the game, like more akin to whatever. And it almost comes down to that. Actors have their actors guild or whatever, and they have agents that negotiate for them, and they have X, Y, or Z. And to be fair, like a Tom Cruise leading role movie is going to make a lot of money because Tom Cruise has that star power. I don't believe that exists even in those top echelon voice actors in video games, the Nolan Norris, the Troy Bakers, the Jennifer Hale. I don't believe that those make the game and draw the crowds like a Tom Cruise face in Top Gun Maverick would do. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Like, wow, that sexy hair girl's back in a new game. Let's go get it. Yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate. It is what it is, but I mean, it's all business, man. It's just she priced herself too high and they weren't willing to pay it. I mean, and that's capitalism, baby. You pay what you want and you take it or you don't. And Jennifer Hale was probably like, well, I'll get paid $1,000 an hour to record this, and I'm fine with that. And or maybe she got paid more. I have no idea. We don't know the details of that. She's under NDA, but at some point, she drew her line in the sand, and Platinum wasn't willing to meet her. And it is what it is. And um, I don't blame Platinum. I also don't blame her. She feels her value is worth more. Did she overvalue herself? Maybe. Is Bayonetta that big of a game that she could actually command that? You know, does she really make Bayonetta Bayonetta? Probably not. Well, I mean, they did the same thing with Metal Gear. I remember when they changed it to Kiefer Sutherland, right, for Metal Gear Solid 5, and everyone like was like, "Well, this isn't the voice of," but it ended up being fine, and the game was fine for it. And Kiefer Sutherland did a fine job. Why didn't they bring David Hayter back? Who knows? They wanted more star power. David Hayter wanted too much money. Who knows what the reasons were? But ultimately, even that storied game where David Hayter was such an iconic voice in Metal Gear Solid, it did not affect the quality of Metal Gear Solid 5 in one bit by changing the voice actor to someone different. Even though that voice actor is also like a very well-known dude, like it didn't make the game any less good of a game for doing that. And I would say the same thing about Nolan North, about anything that he's in. If they change the voice of Nathan Drake, like Nathan Drake has a certain voice, if they changed it, you would just get used to it over the next 30 minutes of playing a 40-hour game, you know? Yeah, you get over it. It's fine. And they've done that before. I mean, with what about Harry Potter when they changed out what's his name? Dumbledore, because the guy died, right? Like I like that dude, but the other guy was fine. And he ended the series strong and it was fine. You know, it all worked out. So I heard about this. Well, to be fair, TwitchCon should have maybe had some oversight over this, but this was an Intel Lenovo booth that had a Gladiator thing going on. You'd sign a waiver. It was over a foam pit, and there was a well, yeah, it was like one small layer of foam, and then I mean, I've been up to Woodward, like the hardcore extreme sports camp, and they have like a big launch ramp into a foam pit. Now that's like a 10-foot deep foam pit where you lose cell phones and you never get them back. And you land in that foam pit, and you know it's legit. And this was concrete convention floor. But apparently, this girl who was actually a pretty successful porn star turned Twitch streamer, she jumped off and landed on her butt, and it broke her back. She had to have bars and metal bars put into her back, and it's crazy. I mean, it's kind of interesting. I mean, this is a funny, weird story, but it sucks. It's unfortunate. Uh, but I remember because we actually had so TwitchCon is an event that we actually worked with, so we did the ticketing and no, we didn't. Not working with them yet. We're going to potentially be working with them in the future. So a couple of our guys were actually out there at TwitchCon, meeting with the people to put it on. And on the day after this happened, they like were trying to set a meeting with this lady, and she's like, she was dealing with the PR fallout from this whole thing. But yeah, it was a big deal, I guess. I watched it. Did you watch the video? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I can't watch that. Like when there's like TikToks or like little videos of people getting hurt, like I can't do it either. All right, Sony's got their version of the Xbox Elite controller. It's called the DualSense Edge controller. It's coming out soon. It's going to be costing $200. So you could get 2 years of Game Pass Super Edition for a price of a controller. Now, if you got me a premium Joy-Con that's not going to break on me for $200, To say I buy one Joy-Con for the rest of your life for $200, that might be worth it. They won't. They're making too much money. It's the Diablo Immortal conundrum. They're making too much money. They're not going to care. And as soon as you realize that cosmetics do not matter in games and the enjoyment of the game is what you enjoy, that's when you'll stop caring about stuff like this. The Sims 5 is called Project Renee or Renee. It's going to focus on creation, so there's going to be better tools for building out stuff. Apparently, Discord is adding a $2 Nitro. Is this Nitro Light? Another tier, which gives you some benefits. They're also launching a watch together functionality for watching YouTube videos with your buds. Can't wait. Can't wait. Who's Elle Fanning? Is she? I don't know this person, but allow me to scroll down to. Okay. Let me scroll down to our 2022 predictions here. New Hideo Kojima game announced at Game Awards. That was a prediction of mine. We're on track. We're on track for an announcement during the Game Awards. The NetherRealm Studios is making a Mortal Kombat RPG for mobile. And it's free to play and it's got gotcha mechanics. Are you in? Just kidding. I don't know about those things. It is called Mortal Kombat Onslaught, by the way. Yep. That's what people do. Apparently, we're going to get Silent Hill information from Konami. So this is an announcement of an announcement that we will cover next week. Apparently, Konami's going to be talking more about Silent Hill. So look forward to that. That's a lot. Yeah, and it's funny. I love when I hear stats like this, because then I look at like I've got 400 coworkers at work, and I'm like, okay, like which of you nerds are playing Roblox in the evenings and building things? Here's the other question about Roblox and these users, right? How many of these users, my kids have created accounts and forgotten passwords? I don't know how many times. So yeah, my kids have probably contributed for the two of them that play Roblox, probably six counts, probably, if not more. So it's possible this is a little inflated based on individual people. And this is, I would imagine that this is 1.7 billion users. There's nothing that says active in here. I am a user. I have a Roblox account, and I have a character in there called Derpface. And the last time I played her was during a Halloween event with my daughter, and we had a blast bobbing for apples. Oh, it was the fashion show too. Yeah, I got into that. Yeah, it was all of the above. Yeah, it was great, man. Derpface, she's making a comeback. Oh. Well, just think about how many elementary schools there are and junior highs. My son's in 8th grade, and he was on my computer playing Roblox before this. Think about how many junior highs and elementary schools there are with like, oh, what, thousands and thousands times thousands of kids. Like, there's a lot of kids playing Roblox. All kids play Roblox more than they play Overwatch and Minecraft at this point. I bet they are. You can find me on Twitter at Legrand. The memes are the best. I'm sorry. That's where it's at. Yeah. See ya.